Hey there, it's the Machine of Nonsense, episode 192. And ironically, we're recording on May the 4th, and our last episode, 191, was our Star Wars episode. It's the Machine of Nonsense, everyone. I'm your host, Eric, joined, as always, by Kayla.
May the 4th be with you.
Yeah, I had a whole gag about April the 20th or something on that episode. That was great. So check it out. It's on all your podcast apps. We are not alone. We brought the whole crew with us because we've got a big old bag of games. Mike, B.O.B.O.G, B.O.B.O.G. How do you pronounce it?
Oh, it's B.O.B.O.G, baby.
B.O.B.O.G.
Sex B.O.B.O.G.
Sex B.O.B.O.G. Yeah, we've got a whole sex B.O.B.O.G of games today.
Oof.
We are going to be talking a lot of games. Ryan's here. He's ready to talk sex and B.O.B.O.Gs.
May the 4th be with
Not in
you.
that order.
He's got a Star Wars background, everyone. A first for the podcast, a CarCast. D is here.
Go smoke that turkey.
Yes, he's going to smoke that turkey. He has opinions. And last, but certainly not least, Tomas is here in the steam pipe era, I believe.
Yes, I'm in my steam pipe era of aesthetic. I just want to say it is May the 4th, but in rebellion against Star Wars, I posted a on theme for our meme Discord, a Devil May Cry 4 post for May 4th because I don't like Star Wars. So,
but he loves Arlen Lynn. Everyone, check out episode.
It's Arden Lynn.
Nope,
Get it right.
Arlen Lynn, baby.
Arlen. That's my favorite King of the Hill.
That's good. That's good.
Oh,
My boy's on point.
well, we've assembled these chuckleheads to talk some games, everyone. We are talking Atomfall, South of Midnight, Blueprints, Oblivion, Expedition 33, and I don't know, anything. Repo? What is Repo? Someone said Repo.
Oh, man. Yeah, D was playing that like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
We're talking Repo, guys. We're going to
Resident Evil police officer.
Oh, Resident Evil police officer. Yep.
Is there that or D like accidentally recorded his house being repossessed
No.
or something?
My whole house? All of it?
Just put that shit on blocks. Call it a day.
They weren't repoing houses in Biden's America, I'll tell you that.
Economy's tough, man. They had a tariff in D's house.
Someone's got to pay. Someone has to pay.
Big old bag of political takes, am I right? That's what we're doing.
Can't go there. We can't go down that road.
No.
We absolutely cannot. I agree, Kayla.
Oh,
I could probably get us all on a list if you give me enough
We'll pay
time.
for it in the real way with, our money, okay?
yeah. Before,
You got money?
Yeah. Insert that meme with what did I call him? Rob Paulson, Kayla? What's the guy
His
I can't
name
think
was
of?
Robert Paulson.
Will Poulter?
Will
His name
Poulter.
is Rob
The Will
Paulson.
Poulter meme. Yeah. I can never think of that dude's name. So, one video game we won't be playing anytime soon, Grand Theft Auto. We were just talking about that in the pre-show. We aren't getting that till May of next year, right? Is that...
Well,
May
26.
2026.
Yeah.
pour one out for the homie.
Everyone's sad, especially me who drafted it in the video game draft.
Big loss.
Yeah.
Ryan's
yeah.
happy.
Yeah.
Ryan's got some hot takes.
Is anyone surprised? Mike, are you surprised we're not getting GTA this year?
I thought that they would hit this year, actually. I thought, I was trying to think back, like with Red Dead 2, did they have to push that back after they announced it a time, like a year? And I couldn't remember. I think with 5, they did do that. I think they did have to push that back at some point. maybe they did with Red Dead 2 as well. Maybe this is just a pattern that I've missed.
Brains blocked it
but-
out.
I mean, I'm just eager to see what kind of huge cannonball splash it makes. I really don't. I'm not that interested in playing it. Maybe like when I'm hearing, every podcast and everybody, every fucking video I scroll is GTA related. I'll have FOMO. But I think it just makes way for more stuff to come out and to be awesome this year.
Hell yeah.
Kayla, you're personally devastated, I know.
Oh. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Sounds super devastated.
Kayla, you've never liked the GTA, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Right. GTA for me was a series that was like numero uno in the early 2000s, mid 2000s for me. Every release was like, whoa, I need to be there for that. And I don't know, since the whole what was special about GTA just kind of is the gravy on so many games now. Just everything is open, except Clair Obscur. But but we'll see. We'll see next year what happens.
It was a complete turn off for video games for me at that time. But for me, okay, you asked like, are you surprised, Eric? I think like just I am like super surprised that they pushed it back at this point, and I feel like when it does come out, it's going to be just sullied. It's going to be... I'm obviously not interested in playing it. Mike, it's interesting that you're not interested in playing it. Is that because of all of this? Are many other people going to feel that way? I think yes. It's going to be so expensive when it does come out.
Good point.
But if it's going to launch with GTA Online 2.0, whatever, people are going to be willing to shell out $100 for that. People are still that thing came out in like what 2013, 2012, GTA 5.
Yeah,
and it's still
fucking forever,
doing
man.
huge thing, huge numbers.
Anything on that you don't get anywhere else?
It's true.
But people never moved on from. I don't know. Like they
never had
want to be in that thing.
Having the next one.
That'll be the interesting thing is like, when people have their forever game, do they go to the next thing? I mean, like,
There's something new.
Yeah, Overwatch had that issue, right? Of like, people were like, I love Overwatch. Overwatch 2 isn't my jam.
Don't need it.
This isn't like Destiny 2 a few years after Destiny 1, and this has been like a full generation leap since the last one. I'm sure if Warcraft 2 was announced soon, World of Warcraft 2, I mean, fans would like, okay, about time.
I just think their hype has been damaged.
For that game, I think it's damaged. I think they're trying, like Jason Schreier said, like they're trying to avoid like super crunch over this summer and any kind of negative press that could come from that.
Well, that's nice.
So they care about their employees, which is all right to an extent.
They haven't in the past. I mean, like,
let's see if they cared about them the last like 15 years or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah,
but this
are
summer,
they getting paid?
This summer,
like,
it's like once people started paying attention to that.
But this one year, they actually care about their employees.
Yeah. Or at least behavior's changing, right?
Ever since they said fall, if I knew in my head, knowing how video game releases go these days, that if I didn't see a solid date, then more likely, especially a game of like this magnitude, going to be, doesn't matter what it says, it will probably be the biggest release of all time. Like Mike said, people are going to dish out the money. I personally not a huge GTA guy either. I grew up watching my cousins play it. It looked fun. It was fun. Just something I was never really that interested in. I get why it was the biggest is the biggest thing ever. But now they're releasing in a time where you got your Fortnites that literally captures every person, every younger person's attention. And why would they go to something when they have their free Fortnite with every Snoop Dogg, their friends Snoop Dogg and Raphael in the same game. You know what I mean?
I saw a picture of Emperor Palpatine holding an AK-47 earlier.
Yeah.
So,
Getting killed by
GTA
either
Online is its own thing. It's its own genre. Like there's not really
agree.
a lot competing in that exact what that game does with its heists and its. I don't even really know all that much about it to really go through what it is. I've only seen certain videos and things.
Shark cards, I think. Shark cards. I think that's.
Well, I mean,
yeah.
Sure, yeah.
That's what I know about it is shark cards.
I mean, I love an open world game. I love a game that would have heists, and I'm upset. Like, it's unfortunate that I didn't get to experience GTA like that. I'm just a fantasy girl. I just wanted some dragons. I was busy playing Spyro
Dragons
at
are
this
cool.
time.
Hell yeah.
You should try
fun.
5. 5 is cool. It has like the 3 character thing, which is just really neat. No other game has done that where you could just hit a button and it transports you to what that other character is doing in the world. Which is still just like a really neat trick.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
It'd be ironic if you did really like 5, Kayla, because I bounced completely off of it. For whatever reason. I played it for a couple hours and was like, I don't think I like this. Maybe GTA has passed me by. I don't know. That was about a year ago.
I kind of feel like that's not a good sign.
I don't know. Yeah.
We're kind of in line, baby.
Yeah, but it wasn't Red Dead, It wasn't Red Dead.
I think if you're gonna like any of them, 5 is the one because it is like you have the Vice City type character, you have the San Andreas type character, and then you have like this wild card type character. There's like something for everybody with its protagonists, and
it's like the greatest hits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, GTA 5, we'll get it. Or 6, GTA 6? 6 is the one we're talking about. Yeah.
We've had 5 for a decade.
Yeah.
You can tell.
Well, I might as well just go ahead and play 5 because.
Well, you won't understand 6 unless you play 5. I mean, they're.
Sure.
You just won't understand.
It's like Final Fantasy, you're gonna play all
It's
20 of them.
just like Final Fantasy.
These games connect in a loose, like a Tarantino Easter egg kind of sense. No, nothing big.
Yeah, there's always a Sid. There's always Red Apple cigarettes. There's always a lighthouse.
Chocobos. Everywhere.
Yeah. None of those things are in the games we actually played recently. The big old bag of games.
You've actually played.
Well, you played Oblivion, right, Tomas? We're going to talk Oblivion.
Yeah, I've been jumping around the field.
Right. So we'll get to that.
Most of my acrobatics.
No one aside from me and Caleb played Atomfall or South of Midnight, right? Anyone check out those games? No.
Nope.
Yeah.
South of Midnight sounds like a Midwest emo band name.
It would be a good Midwest emo band.
Swamp emo band name.
Name, but it's actually really, really good. It's a great companion piece to Sinners, the film.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful companion piece to play those together. I'll touch on both of these quickly here. So Atomfall first. This is from Rebellion, the team that makes those Sniper Elite games, right? Or is that's the same team, I believe? Which I've never played that anything from this studio before, but 1960s alternate history set. You're in somewhere in Britain, and it's
so you're eating beans on toast.
It's 1960s British Stalker. Like the game that came out last year, Stalker. So there's a Chernobyl-esque explosion at a event, at a nuclear power plant, and shit gets wild. There's sci-fi elements. It is extremely British. It's extremely like of a time of a like the 1960s. It feels very 1960s, except there's also robots and like futuristic technology and stuff. So it's people say it's like Fallout, so it is in some ways, like themes, but it's like it's a survival game if you took out pretty much all of the shitty survival aspects of a survival game. Which
so you don't have to drink water to stay alive.
No, you don't. You don't have to eat or anything like that, but it does have the trappings of like very minimalist in terms of its like map. You are meant to just like go out into this wilderness and these like little shanty towns and stuff, foraging for very limited like ammo and health items and things of that nature. There's some crafting elements to it, but it takes away to me the annoying parts of survival games. Like even Stalker had a lot of those systems where you did have to like keep healthy in various ways, that it was just like, this is just another thing to worry about. Cool game. It was on Game Pass. It has 6 or 8 different endings. We like the one that we got. It's a
Chrono Trigger.
It's got a really cool premise that it like goes from, it's only about an 8-hour game roughly. Like you can get an ending in about 8 hours. It's meant to like be replayed, I think. So
Nice.
You wake up, you don't know who you are, you're in a tunnel. Guy says, "Hey, you should probably go to this place called the, what was it? Exchange, Kayla? Interchange. You got it. You got to go to this place called the Interchange, and you'll figure shit out, bro." And I think he dies or something. And and then your map, you're filling in the map as you go. You can't set like a lot of cursors or anything else. It's not map barf. It's just like find a direction, talk to people, maybe kill some people, pick up little notes and stuff, audio logs. And as these things are progressing, different people in the world will tell you like, yeah, I'll help you to get out. You want to get out of this place? Cool. You got to do this for me. And you can choose whether or not to do that thing. And then that becomes a whole quest line. And there's interconnected nature. You might kill someone who would have helped you on someone else's quest line or whatever else. And 8 hours ends and you might get out. So I think worth a play. Plays well, decent guns, very like limited arsenal.
Rusty ass guns.
Yeah. It's got an interesting system where if you pick up multiple of the same guns, you can craft better versions of it. So
like you pick together.
Kind of, yeah, because you get like shitty, like rusty ones, and then it's like if you use like 5 pieces of scrap and these 2 rusty guns, you get a slightly less rusty gun. And then if you have 2 slightly less rusty guns and some scrap, you get a pristine version of it. You know, it's like
I like some sandpaper and just kind of
get oil.
Yeah,
some oil.
There's just a lot of systems you can choose to play with or not. Yeah, decent skill tree and stuff. So that's Atomfall. Kayla, anything else on Atomfall? Did you like our experience in that world?
Feels so long ago already.
2 hours ago.
There's like there's a lot of mystery to it, which is cool. I like stuff like that. It did feel very stalkerish, but short, which was my issue with Stalker.
Yeah, Stalker was way too long. Yeah. Without a doubt.
I liked this. It's a solid 7.
I think so. I think it's a better. I think I liked it a little better than that other one that we did the whole podcast about, like the best 7s ever or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I can never remember that game. They're kind of similar.
Yeah, Atomic
Heart. Yeah, Atomfall, Atomic Heart. You can see where I'm at. They're very similar, but I think Atomfall was a little bit better because it's a little shorter, a little like better writing. Like it's just, I think a better version of that game, really.
Better vehicle.
Yeah, I think so. Cool setting.
Yeah. For sure.
South of Midnight. We also played that. Also another Game Pass joint. This is I think it's Louisiana. Do they ever say if they're actually in Louisiana?
No, but picture Louisiana and picture
Picture.
southern Louisiana, like all the way to the water.
Just imagine everybody's Paul Prudhomme. There's beignets everywhere.
Yeah, there's
Just
definitely
gators.
beignet talk.
Oh yeah.
Gators
Definitely.
working the counter at corner stores.
You're pretty
Gators.
close to the gators working the corner stores because there are a lot of talking animals. It's the most like mystical version of Louisiana, like in
Take me there.
a game, or
Talking
just
catfish.
yeah. It's just like so far. Clair Obscur is pretty stylish, but it is an incredibly stylish game. It's dripping with style. South of Midnight.
This is very unique.
Yes. Yeah, at least in its visual presentation. It's got it does this interesting frame stuff with it tries to mirror like claymation type animation, so like it's slower
Shadowing.
frame rate and stuff. There's mystical creatures that talk to you and go about the way. It's old school in the sense that it's very like linear, pretty simple combat. It's going for like I would say an even more simplified version of the combat in like God of War. I would the modern God of War games, but not as deep as those games can get. Those games have way more kind of RPG elements than this one. This one kind of strips a lot of that down. But you got some moves that complement each other. They're on cooldowns. You can zip around the battlefield pretty good. It's battle arenas. You come to little like parts where there are these enemies called haints, which they also mention in the film Sinners, which was cool. I was like, I've never heard that term, but they're like, I guess like in Southern folklore, it's like, yeah, they're spirits, evil spirits kind of thing.
Okay.
And it's cool. And it's another short experience. What 8 to 10, right, Kayla? Maybe
12, maybe.
Maybe yeah, maybe.
I think it was longer.
Maybe
what was like? I saw the score on Metacritic and people were raving about it and stuff, and it wasn't as high as I thought. So people are kind of like talking about it. What was the one feature of the game that you didn't jive with that much?
Ooh, that's a good. What do you think, Kayla? I don't know.
I probably wouldn't love the arena.
Because with how amazing, I guess it's like a love letter to like deep South American kind of like experience of that time.
Lovely.
Yeah, which is fantastic. But I heard the combat was not as well, or could have been maybe a little bit better than it was. Is that
A little more refined.
sound right?
I would call it like, it's not friendly to my playability.
It's pretty basic, like I said it's like a stripped down version of God of War. It reminded me a little bit of Kenna Bridge of Spirits had similar kind of a couple moves on that you use a lot. The same kind of moves are on cooldowns. You'll mark an enemy and then your next attacks do a little bit more damage, or you can pull them towards you or push them away from you. Stuff like that. The enemy
Hinterberg is kind of like that too.
Yeah, that's a good call. Yeah, Dungeons of Hinterberg kind of similar combat, I would say.
I don't love that stuff.
It's very old school. It's very like PS2 kind of era, I would say, of combat. And it's kind of the least interesting aspect of the game also, just the combat. Like I could see a version of this game where you don't fight and you just explore and there's cool parkour sections and stuff. You get a lot of cool grapple abilities, and you could basically fly by the end of the game, stuff like that.
The fighting should be so interesting. The fighting should be like God of War. Now that you say that.
It would be cool. Yeah, that would make it like a 10 out of 10 probably for
You've
me.
got all kinds of magic things. it.
Yeah. You definitely like how the magic is portrayed outside of combat is way cooler, I would say. Like it's a very mystical game. You know magic, all the other characters are magical. There are these creepy spirits and
It's also super mysterious. You don't know what the fuck your mom's been doing.
Yeah.
Look very stylish. I really like the way it looked.
It is. It's very, very fun to look at.
I liked how it wrapped up. It blends modern issues that are still plaguing like the American Deep South and stuff, and also just like it shows this generational kind of like story. Yeah, the history of the area and everything, and in unique ways, with all a tint of like, oh, this is all like supernatural, as you know, and mystical. So
you had me at talking alligators. So
yeah, there's a cool ass alligator. It's very scary in that game.
Hell yeah! Aw, I wanted just a cool, friendly one.
He was friendly, and then he, threw.
What'd you do to him, Eric? What did you do to him?
You should see. You should see. He did a lot to me too.
Bye bye, Eric's arms.
Good game, South of Midnight. Next game I have on my list is Blueprints. We talking some Blueprints?
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm logged in. I'm ready.
Bow to the masters.
How far are you, man? What day would you say?
I'm on my second run, day 10.
Day 10. All right. Right on. I can't remember. It's been a while since I picked it up. I think I was in the 70s, 80s.
Wow.
Where I left off. I think I might have reached how far my brain can get me. Through. I'm probably the next time I pick it up, if I probably do a couple runs, and if I'm not able to pick up on anything, maybe just start looking up some videos, some guides or something, to find another through line to chase. How do you like it, D, so far?
I mean, just to talk about what it is, Blueprints is this sort of like exploration, like mystery puzzle game, where you're playing this kid who's inherited this estate, with this like absolutely freaky ass mansion that has moving rooms that reset every day, with a fucking ominous note from your great uncle that's like, I've left you the One Piece, find it. So then you are spending a lot of your time learning about this house at first, which then leads you to learn about what was actually going on with your uncle and your family and the lineage and the fucking area that this place is set in. And there's a lot of really good background lore going on that kind of got me a little more invested, like as I took my time with it. But I will say, like, what hooked me was immediately kind of going, oh wow, this is like a fun, like truly fun puzzle game, that was really making my brain do some work, to the point of, I have to take notes. I have to take pictures of stuff, so that I can, give myself more time to absorb the information, and stuff I don't miss. So the gameplay loop is just, you go through, you have resources that you spend on creating rooms. You have a limited amount of stamina per day. And then you also have, all of the secrets that you can find as you play through each day. And I just really been kind of like enjoying the grind of like, what am I finding today that's going to help me the next day? Because as I kind of started my second run, with kind of the stuff I discovered, my first run, I think I just got to a point where I was like, I don't really know what I'm doing. I don't think I'm making progress. Let me start over. And the second run has really just been like, I don't know. The part of my brain is being tickled. It's been my hyperfixation. And I'm really just loving like every little like new thing that I find, and how like it just does like start building into each day. I don't know. What is your experience with that? Like, are you feeling like, did you feel like progress is being made, or you feel like you're just kind of like banging your head on a wall?
I think I said it on the initial talk we had. Like it has like the best pacing of any game I've ever played, and that was through and through for pretty much my whole time with it. Just like always having a little goal to try to accomplish throughout the day. Like, okay, I'm gonna try to get a ton of this color room today. I'm gonna try, maybe I can get the sledgehammer with this item and this item, and have this happen, and have this happen, and then it did happen. I got all three of those things to happen.
Yeah.
But then I ran out of steps. There's some like something.
Yeah, you just run out of steps. Oh,
yeah, right. And I know I've heard a lot of people that part that pushback that the game gives you, they don't like it. And I don't know. For me, it's like, man, I need to find a way to min max every run that I have here. And it's really, that's what rogues are. Like, I don't know. Like, I love them. And every day just trying to think like, okay, I have like my routine. Like I go here first. I try to get this. I try to do my dead ends. All right, hallway time over here. Hopefully, I'm on this wing, so I have a greater chance of getting this. That part's so fun. I feel like calm and just it feels like I have something licked. Like I know everything I want to do right now. Hopefully I get the right number, the right RNG to do it. Then sometimes it doesn't work out and you're like, okay, I'll start day 500, whatever. Like let's keep going. I've made it back to room 46.
Ooh.
And it's like, oh, okay, all right. This is more stuff for me to do. Awesome. And then the game is just, and if you want to boil it down, it is like I solved a puzzle to get another puzzle, but it's so much more than that. I don't know. I love getting any new scrap of, an old newspaper clipping, a note, a new book. Like books in this game are like really awesome to find, like, and to read. And
they are
all made by one guy. Is that right?
Yeah, the dude who I found out is the founder of MythicSpoiler.com, which is like how I find out all the new Magic cards that are getting spoiled. Like,
oh wow,
when that happened. So he said all the money that he's ever gotten from that has been put into this game, and
it's impressive.
It shows. It's really cool. It's like the most cool clockwork, like think of something like Majora's Mask if you played that, how every kind of day,
no wonder you love it,
cycles through.
I mean,
this is that, like on a just exploded. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like just and I don't want to take any more time talking about it, because it's very much like it feels like when you open the 1,000 puzzle piece, like you got all the pieces like in front of you, but like this feels like it's a 1,000-piece puzzle box, but you're slowly getting them like handed to you. So it's not like you can search for the pieces that you want. You can't look for the corners. You can't look for the big picture. You're just slowly getting a piece at a time, but each piece feels significant. Like you don't get a puzzle piece and be like, I don't know what to do with this. You get it and you go, should I turn it? Should I look upside down? Like you feel like you should inspect every piece that you get. And then sometimes you don't initially find something, but then you get the next piece that may hint to something that a piece you got before, and it makes you backtrack. But the backtracking doesn't feel like backtracking. It feels like, oh, I just got a clue for a thing. Let me go check out the thing.
Eureka.
It's just,
Yeah.
it just always somehow delivers on that. I mean, the most recent thing I did was the Reservoir. That was fun. Just discovering the Reservoir was fun. And that's all I have to say about that.
Hell yeah, brother.
Reservoir. He's a reservoir dog. That's deep.
Res dog.
Yeah.
Res Dog.
Res dogs.
Yeah, play Blueprints. It's really dope.
I've been watching a lot of gameplay. It looks very, very good. Very. I mean, if you love puzzles, you like those being a thinker. This game's got you.
Oh, I
and
hate those things. Oh, gross.
Never been diagnosed, but I'm pretty sure I'm on the spectrum. So this sounds like the game for me.
It's a puzzle.
That one dropped on PS Plus and Game Pass on launch, right? Yeah. So
Yeah.
we're talking readily
Don't
available
fuse it.
games, guys. Yeah, don't fuse it. Yeah. I love
Too
it.
busy jumping through the fields, man.
Yeah.
I've talk about games I've been playing. Me and my significant other have been slowly going through Split Fiction. I think we just got to the part where the dragons. That's all I'll say is like you have these dragons that slowly grow throughout the level. And you kind of go in and out of side stories and shit. And man, it's just a blast co-op game with a partner or a friend or whoever. Very short. I think we're near the end of the game, I believe. But it's been just a whirlwind of fun for platformers. The different styles are pulling from different games to like Mega Man to side scrollers to first person. You name it, they got it in there, and it's just been so fun. I mean, one of the
Stop backing up.
All right, I won't. But I'll back up a little bit. So before the dragons, there's this cool side story that just me and Isadora couldn't stop laughing about. Is you're kind of in this 5-year-old story where you're this tooth where there's like a little, I don't know, toothpaste in your head or whatever. In the end, you end up fighting like a robot. I won't say what it is, but a robot of some kind, and we were just laughing our asses off with it. It was just absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, anybody else play Split Fiction? It's been just a joy.
We did.
A joy. Yeah.
I'm so glad you brought it up. Yeah, we played through it. Yeah, I think I'll be talking about Split Fiction at the end of the year more. I'll just say that. Yeah, it's just it took that
Always delivers.
Yeah, Hazelight just understands the thing, right? Understands the co-op experience, and I think it took a lot of what It Takes Two did well, like this kind of interesting little things in big world kind of stuff, and blew it out. Just played with the genre, you know.
I felt like we're playing it for a while, and you're like, okay, yeah, this is what they do, but there were some holy shit moments in it. It was really cool. I did like a lot of crazy stuff that they did.
Yeah. Did you guys draw a drop? I'm not gonna like spoil it, but like there is this almost like concepty like level, like
yes.
like you know what I mean?
Eric knows. He knows.
It's got two colors in it, and I was just like, they're doing this. This is crazy. I've never done this in a game before, but yeah, it's red and blue, Mike.
Thank you. I thought so.
And just so this game is getting a movie like almost immediately. I guess Sydney Sweeney is it? Who do you think she's gonna play?
On that, but
she's gonna. You think she's gonna play Mia or is she?
Yeah, I was just gonna say he's gonna play Joseph. Damn it, Mike's good at jokes. Yeah. She doesn't look like either of the main characters, I will say. So it's a weird casting.
It's gonna be
I don't think that matters.
The fantasy one.
I think it'd be cool
Definitely
if she's the
fantasy one.
shitty CEO of the
that
the
would
video
be
game
great.
company. That
Yeah.
would be good
There you
casting.
go.
Then
Yeah.
I would very much, because he plays a big part. Like he's kind of the main bad guy. So yeah, I'd be into that.
So good.
Call me Hollywood. I wrote down Splight Fiction. I gave it an E at the end in my
There you
notebook
go.
here. Yeah, good old Splight.
No, you're
Fiction.
just playing a different game.
Yeah. Splight Fiction. Go get it. Not on
DLC.
Game Pass, unfortunately. Not yet. Not yet. Tomas, you've been playing Oblivion, the remaster.
Yes, I have.
Oh yeah.
I've been jumping through the fields, and I guess Oblivion's a lot of spelunking because every optional thing you go to is in a cave. I swear to God, like
A lot of frolicking through the fields and caves.
Yeah, you frolic through the fields, and then you go spelunking when you find a cave door, and you beat up a few trolls. Boy howdy, man, do I remember like some of the systems in this game weren't the greatest. You run into that one ghost in a dungeon, like after you've killed everything else in it, and you're like, "Fuck, man, I gotta bust out the fire that like I never use. My magicka shit." I'm running. Okay, slight hacks though, because like I remember playing this game like 20 years ago, like in my living room with Mike and like Aaron.
Yeah.
And I know where to find like the hookups. I know where Shady Sam is around the outsides of the main kingdom, so I could just buy like 10,000 lockpicks, and I don't have to try that shitty lockpicking mechanic game that they used to have.
Aaron told me where. I remember Aaron telling me where to get the skeleton key, and it was the best day of my life. Just never having to interact with that mini game ever again. It was great.
I'll have to look that one up again, but
Yeah.
no, but it's been fun. I was like, I'm a thief, so yeah, I'd be stealing, I'd be robbing the hood. Mike beat me to the punch. He made Ace Bloodstone, our original character. So I made Mace Mudstone
Yeah.
in opposition. I am Khajiit. I do not have wares. I steal wares. And, so yeah, I'm pretty much rich, just jumping around
wanna
the
know about-
plains.
I want to know about your wares.
And I've closed a few Oblivion gates already. And I was like, that's fun, but I feel like I play kind of like D played Breath of the Wilds, for just like I just go in a direction. If I find a cave, cool, I go through it. I beat the fuck out of everything. If I accidentally join a storyline from finding something that I should be doing, like if I found like a bottle of wine like in a cave, and it's like, oh, there's storyline tied to this. So like, all right, well, I guess I'm doing this now, and I pivot, I shift gears. I don't know. For me, it's like the perfect game where like I don't have to do anything, but like I still accomplish something like in like a 30-minute pickup of the game.
Rewards you for your time, which is nice.
Yeah, it's like I get my little dopamine rush. It's been fun, like reminiscing with like Aaron about like all the stupid shit we used to do in the games, and like man, yeah, the systems in this game aren't great. Like looking back, like we've come a long way, but it is kind of fun to go. Like, so I was talking to my brother about this, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I saw that game. I never really got into those like Elder Scroll games." And he's like, he's more of a Soulsborne kind of guy. I was like, yeah, man. I mean, it's a little chuggy comparatively. I mean, like he's playing Bloodborne right now, and I was like,
Oh,
yeah,
man.
I was like, I don't think you can go back to these games after playing that. I was like,
Ooh,
to feel
Nice,
like you're
good shirt.
to feel like you're in full control of like the fucking car while you're driving it, like comparatively to like look at this guy. His Kirk Hammer poster on the wall. But
I'll hang that back up later.
dang. I don't know, there's just a certain nostalgia to this like kind of game. Like I like exploring. Exploring's fun for me.
I played Oblivion when it first came out. Obviously the huge draw to it is that they basically did Unreal Engine 5 within a very older, systems and stuff. How does that feel playing this very modern looking but old systems game? Does it does it enhance things, for you, or is it
Not
not at
really,
all?
man. It's I feel like I'm
Okay.
playing the exact same game, bro.
Oh, wow.
With the new coat of paint. I occasionally play Eric mode just to change it up a little bit.
Hell
Where I'm
yeah.
like third person.
Hell yeah.
Like when I'm like punching shit. I'm like,
Look at all that Khajiit,
I know.
baby.
Yeah, man, I got claws. Natural brawler, baby.
I mean, it blew up. I thought, I didn't know at first if it was a remake or they actually reworked systems or
nah,
what.
man, it's I thought the same thing too. I was like, man, like when I got to my first lockpick, I was like, man, I hope they do the new lockpick system that they have in those games. And I was like, fuck. Broke like 10 lockpicks trying to master it.
I'm glad you brought
What's
up caves. I'm glad you brought up the caves because
Okay.
a big upgrade in Skyrim was you finished like a cave or a dungeon or whatever. There'd be a chain, you pull it. Oh, I'm back at the entrance of the cave. Oblivion didn't have that shit. You
Nope,
get to
baby.
the end of that fucker, you had to trek all the way back
Yes, you did.
to get to the
No
exit.
mini maps either.
Oh no.
That shit still sucks, right? I'm guessing.
It kind of does, man.
Oh,
I'm like,
no.
I beat the fuck out. I'll turn left. I'm like, goddamn, which door did I go through? Like, goddamn, I
Right.
gotta get out of here.
Skyrim. That was one of the best things they did for Skyrim for sure.
Yeah, no, I feel you. I don't know. I'm still enjoying my spelunking. I haven't been attacked by a vampire in my sleep yet, which is my greatest fear.
Good.
I save before I level up, like every single time. Like I'm gonna fucking mess with the RNG enough, random number generators to like just not get bit. So that side quest sucked. You get unvamped, but I don't know, man. Takes me back.
I'm eager to find out if it has like Shimmering Isles included, the DLC,
Oh,
like
yeah,
expansion.
the DLC.
That stuff was really good.
I believe it does.
Oh, that's
I believe
awesome.
they announced that as part of the launch. I'm pretty sure.
All right.
Cool. That stuff
Okay,
was really dope. Loved that whole quest line. After playing Avowed, though, man, it's really hard to play. This combat has just nothing on what's
Boy,
supposed to be
howdy,
good.
man. When you wind up in this game, bro, just prepare to miss. Like, there shouldn't even be like a heavy strike in this game because it don't do dick, man. So I'm like 5 feet behind the motherfucker by the time like my full charge comes through. I'm like, man, why don't I even try this? Like, I'm like, man, I'm gonna sneak up on this dude full swing, and then he just turns around and he like fucking sidesteps me, and I'm like, god damn it, and then he hits me like twice in the back.
Yeah, because Skyrim feels kind of way dated now, and Skyrim was such an improvement over Oblivion combat wise.
Just the skill tree in that fucking game was a fucking massive improvement, man. I'm using hammers on. I'm using hammers on purpose just to like level up. Like every time my shit breaks, I'm like ping, 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 and I'm like,
oh yeah,
I'm a master smith, man. I switch. I wear like 3 different types of armor just to increase everything all at once.
So my question for all you guys now, since we've played looks like 2 of us have played the Oblivion remake, and I'm pretty sure everyone here has kind of touched Skyrim at this point.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So the newest Elder Scrolls game, if you would want one feature that they haven't done before, the other games have been doing, what would that feature be? What would thing you'd want to bring from a different game?
That's interesting.
Because it's going to be another huge game.
Quest markers and shit. Like take some of that shit out. Give some rough edges back. Not too many.
Clutter, the map.
As would be my kind of take some from stuff and put it in there a little bit.
I like it.
Okay.
I dig it.
Clair? I would like for them to be able to make a fighting system that makes me feel like I've either earned my kill or I've earned my death.
Ooh, okay.
Right now I'm just like, you could still fucking game the system in this one, man. Like find a rock and just fucking rain arrows on dude, and like,
and that's
like when I say it's the same
like
game.
The Rick Rubin of video game like producer. He'd be like, just make me feel it, man. Just make me earn my death. Rick, this is a Wendy's. Can you leave us alone?
For me,
Oh my
I
God.
think what I really liked about Avowed was the unique weapons that you'd find. Like Avowed's got a fairly small like inventory of weapons. Like there's a lot of like the same type of daggers or whatever else, but then you find there's just a handful of unique weapons scattered around quests and stuff like that, and they're all pretty cool. Like especially if you upgrade them, they do cool stuff. They affect your stats in cool ways, and like that would like I love finding a sword that I can just use for half a game or something, or a cool ass bow or something. So. But like I don't want to be finding that every like cave that I go into. I want it
You
to
don't
be
want to find
special.
20 plasma rifles.
Yeah, no, I want it to be like
Hey.
special.
Hey, they were doing that until Skyrim. Skyrim's where they kind of were like, and then Fallout 4 was just like, finding cool shit.
Right.
But Fallout 3 was very good, where every weapon from like a brass knuckle all the way to a rocket launcher had a legendary version
Yes.
somewhere that you could find, and it was awesome. I loved
Yeah.
that
It was
game.
pretty dope.
I think that's what I want. Yeah.
And
Because
then
I
that's
love
earned.
upgrading. I love collecting resources to be able to then go to the blacksmith or whatever and upgrade and work for things like that.
that would be something new for them. They like to just kind of, here it is. Fallout did add like the kind of build it system that I just don't like,
I hated it.
doing stuff like that. But mostly it's, here it is, use another version of it to repair it, kind of thing.
Duct tape it together, baby.
Apparently Fallout 3 is going to be the next one in line to get this coat of paint kind of thing, and hopefully I still love that game. I'm kind of nervous and excited to try that.
Like
Eric and Kayla, you
coat of
guys haven't
paint.
played that.
Never
one,
played
right?
Fallout 3. No. I don't
Really?
3 is really good.
Wow,
Yeah.
good game.
Yeah.
remember having
Really good
a
game.
lot of fun with that one. I remember when we blew up Megaton, Mike.
Oh, yeah.
First
Oh
time.
yeah.
Like it was like, man, like all it took was one taste and being evil. Like it was the easiest thing after that. It's just like 500 bottle caps, bet. Hit the button, baby.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Me and Caleb put so many hours into Fallout 4, so like I'd love to go back and see the lineage there.
I wanted to like 4
Three's
so
real good.
much. I really did. Like when I got 4, I was like, man, this is gonna be great. It's gonna be like playing 3 all over again. And yeah, I didn't get the same dopamine rush.
Mm.
I think I went back to like playing Persona 5 again. So-
Okay.
I did confirm you do get all the DLC in the Oblivion remaster.
Hell yeah.
Oh, cool.
Knights of the
Horse
Nine
armor?
and it doesn't say horse armor, but it says Knights of the Nine and Shivering Isles. I think you have to still pay the
There's-
$10 for horse armor.
There's that meme of like Dr. Manhattan on Mars saying like it's 2004. I'm buying horse armor for $10. It's 2024. I am still buying horse armor for $10.
Hell yeah.
I dig it. But with the tariffs now, right? I mean, it's gonna be like 20.
Oh.
Right? Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
They're gonna tariff digital information.
Oh boy.
They better send me some real fucking horse armor if they're doing that.
Well,
Yeah.
gotta go to the server somewhere.
Right. Yeah.
It's a series of tubes.
God, if that server's in Canada, it's so fucked. Oh, so that's the Oblivion remaster.
Are we
I think
talking about game of the year?
I think we might be talking about or at least our game of the week, let's say, our game of the something of a time frame. Expedition 33, Clair Obscur Expedition 33. a game that was drafted by Ryan. Whatever.
It's a good draft. Good draft.
Sandfall Interactive. This is their first game released out of that studio, out of France. An incredibly French game
Oops.
as well. Bunch of the folks there have worked for like video game companies. They're all veterans of their like Ubisoft and stuff like that. But impressive showing, Ryan. I'll start off with you. You're Mr.
You've been
you
streaming it for like 10 weeks now.
You've been talking. Yeah, you're streaming it. You know.
I have so many words for this game. Just a quick note. This is like a 30-ish person team. You know, you got Blueprints, one guy. You got this game, about 30-ish people. First game. X-Dead's coming from this industry where it's just really cynical right now to be in. I'm just going to keep it real. I'm going to kind of break it down. No spoilers at all.
So you're saying you don't need all these multi-billion-dollar companies to make a good game.
I think you're right, Thomas.
I believe that 33-person team thing has been kind of debunked a little bit.
Yeah, no.
So
it's about 30 plus ish.
It's
whatever.
not an Ubisoft.
No. But it's
for sure.
It's a very small team.
How many people were on the Chrono Trigger Dream Team?
Just those 3 guys, man. Just Yuji Horii,
just smoking weed and a typewriter and fucking Akira Toriyama drawing shit on a wall.
Yeah. Expedite this.
Front. Expedite this.
Expedition 33. I will say probably my game of the year so far. This story, I want to break it down three different things how I'm going to describe it. The story. As soon as I hit that new game button, I knew like I was in something extremely special. They give you this palpable sense of loss walking through the streets of Luminaire, which means light in French, by the way. But you can't help but drink it in. Like the atmosphere is like intoxicating. It's so everything is not only that they breadcrumb you into like society and this going down to like this pier, I will say, with these conversations and feelings how people compartmentalize with like the hook of this game that they have to offer. And man, it's a really, really damn good hook. And as far as I'm Act 1. But what I play up to this point, I'd be shocked if this game didn't sweep the Game Awards this year. I mean, it's fantastic in every way I could imagine for what type of game it is. I think the game is much cinematic in its storytelling as it's subtly dropping your information within the breadcrumbs throughout the game and giving you like this sense of mystery and learning what you're dying to find out, and they're doing such a good job with that. I'll briefly, I won't say much else about the story, but the music, the art, I mean, it brought me to what's unique in itself. No other game looks like this right now. And I can say that confidently. It gave me something I didn't know I wanted or needed. A beautiful, beautiful expression of imagination that works in tandem with each other, like the music, the art, not compromising to itself and unique to itself. And right now, I think that's really rare in video games. A sense of uniqueness, because you got your Oblivions and you got your remakes and you got all these things they're taking all, like, they want to be part of this big pie that everyone's trying to get a part of. And this game is like, no, fuck it. We're doing our own thing. We're doing a love letter to the games we love. And you feel that. You feel that unabashedly. And I'll touch on the combat before going on a huge tangent. They solved what I hated most about turn-based RPGs. They've given me
there's no
the satisfaction of like a pair of Sekiro or a dodge from Devil May Cry to keep me engaged or on my toes in combat. But not only that, they reward me for just not the action, but with a setup afterward to enhance your combat further, which is huge. Like when I get a expedition parry off, it feels really fucking good. And when you get like dodges off and coming back and getting your your action points back, and then just unleashing your combos, what you set your team up to do, it feels so fucking good. And they've taken a lot of great elements from other old RPGs, and they putting them in a stew tastes really fucking good. And you can say, oh, they took this from Mario RPG or this from Legend of Dragoon or Chrono Trigger. There's a little bit of everything in this game for the combat. They've taken bits and pieces, and they know the sauce. And they have games like this breaking the seams to what is a deflating industry, because the idea that everything needs to be designed now to keep making money indefinitely. This game just shines, and I think it deserves all its flowers. That's saying a lot for me. So that's what I got to say. That's my soapbox.
Man, it only one act in too.
I know, it's so good. So good. The characters are so memorable. I see why it got greenlit for a movie almost immediately.
I'm questioning, did Josh write this game? Because I remember doing some tabletop games where he would name a character Lumiere. And there's infamous photos of him online where it's Josh Obscura, because people just block him out of the photo.
That's interesting. Here's a little tidbit before I leave it to you guys. Lumiere, how you pronounce it in French,
Lumiere
is light, right? But also, what's really interesting is there were these two gentlemen called the Lumiere brothers, and they were considered the fathers of cinema, creating cinema. They did these series of shorts of these little depictions of life in France and other places. And watching those and knowing what those were, you can kind of see that the time they're in, because it was late 19th century, and this aesthetic almost is reflective in this game in kind of a sense. Really interesting. Anyways, I leave it to you guys.
Yeah,
I'm kind of interested in the fact that it's a French studio. The idea of you're not just getting you're not getting the whitewashed American experience in a game, or we're so used to seeing these long RPG style games where it's just it's really Japanese or it's really American, and it'd be interesting to kind of see a different side of the pond.
I think that's one
culturally
of
speaking,
the coolest, unique aspects of it, is that, we've gotten a million JRPGs, right? And even they might be set in usually, or a lot of times I'll say they're set in fantasy realms, very knights, Camelot type scenarios. Most of your Final Fantasies have a lot of influences from, that type of medieval Europe, right?
But they did a lot of high fantasy early on too.
Right.
It's you get knights and then they'll throw a robot at you, Lost Civilization shit in the last dungeon.
Exactly. But with a tinge of a lot of Japanese culture as well. You'll have you said, you'll have a robot or something for no reason, right?
A Masamune.
Yeah, exactly. They just can't help themselves, and this is the same thing but with French stuff. There are mime enemies, and you can get alternate costumes.
I would love to kill a mime.
That are little berets and stuff like that. And there's a what they call the Crooked Tower, which is just a weird fantasy Eiffel Tower. It's Lumiere is just Paris, fucked up, a fucked up version of Paris.
They all want to drink wine all the time.
They all want to drink wine all the time. There's a great wine drinking scene.
Baguettes.
So we shouldn't spoil anything, but I think this game's got one of the coolest concepts, so we should at least talk around that. The concept of the game is that there's this creature, this being out in the distance called the Paintress, and once a year she wakes up and there's a number on a big canvas, the monolith, and it displays a number, and then it ticks down. She erases it, and it ticks down one number, and that number relates to the maximum age of all humans in this world. So at the beginning of the game, it ticks down from 34 to 33. That's Expedition 33. So anyone who's older than 33 years old disappears.
Bye-bye.
And this has been happening every year for a long time. You the backstory, I think it unfolds
100
really
years,
well.
right?
Yeah, for at least 100 years. Yeah, this has been
People were living to 134.
So that's the and the general like thrust of the story is that every year after this happens, the remaining people get together. The oldest people, the 33-year-olds in this case, all get together and they go on an expedition because they know like they're gonna die within a year,
Got one
so
more year.
they might as well go try to
Fuck
kill
it,
the
right?
Paintress, right?
Let's go hard.
It's very fuck it, right? And the way that those elements kind of unfold is very like there's a lot of Death Stranding in this game, if you'll let me say that, in the sense that like every expedition that has gone out is laying a path for the next one. That's a huge theme. They kind of all know they're gonna die. Like there's
When one falls, we continue.
Right. There's this theme of like, yeah, we're probably fucking dead. This is a suicide mission, but maybe the next one will get a little further. Maybe. And
Like we leave directions for the next ones to get further than we did.
This kind of reminds me a lot of, and I'm sure you've all picked up on it, like Final Fantasy X.
I've heard that a lot, Tomas.
But
it
reminds me a lot of the concept that Final Fantasy X was originally supposed to be, because everybody in the game was originally you die at like 18 was like the original concept of Final Fantasy X. So it feels like a fusion of those two concepts.
It had me crying within the first 30 minutes, man. Like I was bawling my eyes out. That music just.
Oh yeah.
Oh my
music
god.
Is so good.
I mean,
battle
I
music,
died like 4
map
expeditions
music.
ago. So.
Yeah.
Caleb, what did you think?
I really like it. What I want to say, because it seems like we're much further than you, Ryan, is what I want to say is just keep following the breadcrumbs. There's a lot.
It is a puzzle box game in a sense. Like there's a lot of mystery that unfolds in this game. I will say that. That's probably about as spoilery as I want to get.
Who's our favorite characters? Sorry, Mike, go ahead.
For me, I thought the mystery was was too thin early on. Like, I'm like, okay, I get the basic premise. I'm going from place to place. And I felt like I wasn't getting any new info really about anything. Like we're just doing this thing. And then at a certain point, it kind of shifted for me. And I'm pretty invested in what's going on for sure.
Oh, I'm so happy to hear that. I know you were early on, you were like, it wasn't really catching you. You weren't feeling the pullback, right?
Yeah, I mean, because the game has it's kind of like feature creep territory. There's a lot going on. There's everything is just like another little thing that they plucked from the video game tree and put it in there. And then it kind of just gets to the point where combat's really clicking for me. The Picto stuff's clicking for me. The Lumina stuff's clicking. I'm paying attention more to, okay, do this first, then that leads up to that. I'll have enough AP to do this thing. And then, yeah. And then you kind of just think, because like you mentioned, like they've left a path, like every expedition before, but it seems like all that stuff's like just, you'll find a journal from expedition, 70 something, like early on, but then you'll see like, I don't feel like they do enough of trying to connect that stuff. They keep saying, no one left, but keep moving on, whatever their fucking motto is. I don't think there's enough world building early on, outside of these journals that you get, which are really good. Some of them are like really profound. Some are poems. Some are just really funny. The game overall is really funny, I think. which was really kept me going early on. And yeah, I'm in Act 2, and I'm eager to keep going. For sure.
They definitely have
I
a certain
want-
sense of humor about them, and with how bleak it seems. I will say
you're
that
gonna die.
you're gonna die, whatever. Yeah,
Yeah.
but like, I will say there is a certain type of creature in this game that I'm gonna call them French minions. We'll call it that. I
Sure.
call them French minions. They make me laugh so much. They're so cute. They're so adorable, and I think they're gonna be like kind of like just a staple for this game, or like they're gonna sell any kind of merch. It's gonna be this type of thing.
They make you
Um,
pissed.
Yeah, they make exactly.
You guys think this
I-
game looks good?
Yeah,
I think
it looks
Well, Ryan's
really
like
good.
running on like a jet engine like computer.
Really freaking good. I saw it looks like in console. Looks okay. Looks all right.
I want to
It's
say
not really
that
the
like
fidelity; it's just the art direction in general. All of
Oh.
the enemies look like just vomit. Like I don't
Really?
know, like they're just a bunch of blocks put together.
Oh, wow.
I'm not digging that. When you're out in the world, it's just all these floating shit everywhere. It is really hallway simulator. Like people were fucking. If this came out around Final Fantasy 13 time, this game would have been fucking just burned at the stakes. Like
Oh my
back
God.
then.
I'll
I
repeat. Follow the breadcrumbs.
okay.
oh okay, that's huge.
I got- I got one thing to say. I have not played this game, but interestingly enough, I went to a bookstore today, like a little hole in the wall like thing at the local flea market, and I found a art project book about like a guy who asked people to mail their secrets in on a postcard to him, and he compiled it into a book with just all of them, all anonymous, all like whatever. And the amount of vulnerability you see from people when there's like nothing on there, and like you're talking about like finding these journals from these people, like it's such a cool concept, like of like what's going on with Expedition 76, what were they thinking, how did they feel about this, with no filter, because Mike, you mentioned like some of them wrote poems and shit like that, and it immediately like clicked my brain to that like one thing, and I literally just ran into this book like today. I was like, oh.
That's awesome.
So that's such a fun concept to play around with, like, so
It's so
if anything.
the journals are great. Mike's 100% right, but I think like there's just these small conversations usually between the like main characters that really flesh out for me. Like the concept's already cool, the world's already cool, just like it makes your mind go to places if like the oldest people on the planet are 33, and like people who are like, it delves into things like people who decide to have children when they know that they will only get to see their children for like
Fucking, I'd be creating future armies.
But those future
do you
armies
have
will,
kids so that way maybe they can figure it out?
but
or
at some point when you're
do
30
you not?
when you're 33, or or when the number ticks down to 33,
Yeah.
right, and someone
I have
decides
an army
like,
of 12-year-olds.
right, like, oh, I'm 20 right now, I want to have a kid. That kid is only going to live for 13 years because, like, do the math there, right?
Yeah. I feel you.
Right. So, or whatever. I think I did the math wrong. But anyway, that kid's only going, like, you're condemning that kid to only live X amount. And people have kind of had to make those decisions now for the last handful of generations.
You may be damning the future of not creating a genius that can figure this shit out.
Right. Yeah. It's that play. And should they have joy?
You got nothing to lose either way. So
it's like, should they have joy, right? Like, should they bring in new generations?
okay, no, we're all suffering. Utilitarianism. You got to turn that empathy shit off in this kind of like situation.
It's wild, it's very Children of Men, like one of my favorite movies like, is it worth, like, okay, we're ticking down to the end, we kind of know it's coming in a sense. What are the things that are important still in this world? And the people, like each of them, some of them throw themselves into these expeditions. Some of them
fighting for the future.
You know, are more hedonistic and just like stay in Lumiere and kind of like live out their days doing that. It's like it's just like I find that world that they're building in the first half of the game to be just like
phenomenal, right?
Wow.
It's just so we can do spoilers. Go ahead.
No, I just gotta say, first 100 expeditions didn't go hard enough. That's it.
So we know this game has like a star-studded cast, like
good voice actors,
really stacked, amazing actors. You got Daredevil himself, even though people have been calling him Charlie Pattinson.
Every character looks like an actor, and it's weird.
Yeah, Gustav.
Yeah. Okay, so the first time I saw this was like on that weird like game. It was like your murder mystery, like in a campsite where they had like Brenda Song and fucking what's his face, David Arquette, and they like used their actual like
Until Dawn,
the quarry.
Not Until Dawn, the quarry, yeah.
The quarry. Yeah, and that game weirded me the fuck.
See,
I just could not.
Uncanny Valley, right?
The Uncanny Valley freaked me out a lot on that game, so I'm not a fan of that.
I've gotten used to it, but it's like, that's Callie Spaney or whatever. That's the chick from Ex Machina and Tomb Raider. Like, forget her name, but it just looks just like her.
Yeah.
So weird.
That's Robert Pattinson. That is.
Well, the weird part is it's not though. That's the weirdest part. Is like it's a guy who looks like Robert Pattinson, who is played by Charlie Cox, a British man, voiced by
God,
and then is supposed to be French, kind of. Like it's all those things, which is real odd.
Ooh.
But the characters are so hard not to love. They're so good. I mean, Gustav and Mael's relationship is so wholesome. I love it. Like how much he cares for her, and she's a very amazing character in herself. And then you got, I'm only Act 1, so like Lune, my girl Lune is just like
favorite character.
You guys were raising her up big time on the chat.
My God, it's
a queen
for sure. And all your characters get like a running animation, and I must say hers is the most satisfying because I don't have to hear fucking footsteps because she just floats, and it's so cool.
Yeah. She does the Kingdom Hearts glide.
Yeah,
you don't like the clacks. Clack, 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 clack.
No.
So,
and all their designs go so hard.
A little talk about Lune here. I put her in a different. You get different outfits. And this one had shoes, and Kayla wasn't for that. Kayla said she's got to be barefoot. So
where are her feet?
I have like a dozen outfits for everybody. I have 2 outfits for Lune, and they're both swimsuits. I don't want that for Lune.
Oh yeah, no,
don't.
Mike got the Roll 34 pack.
Yeah, no, thank you.
I like the swimsuit crew.
Lune horse armor, damn it.
Yeah.
What are you playing, Persona?
Horse armor.
I like some of the costumes. Some of the costumes are really cool. I got like a mid game one that's pretty fucking fresh. I hope that you guys end up getting.
Males.
I didn't think. No, the male one's phenomenal. I meant the other one, the dripped out one. I'll call it.
Big drip.
Yeah. No.
Drip.
Anything else to say about Expedition 33? Clair, Obscur, Expedition 33.
I still got one more thing to say. It's not really about the game itself. I think, well, in a way it is. You got things like Blueprints. You got this coming out of left field. And I really think it's a wake-up call for the industry for where it is right now. And
I
like,
gotta listen to it.
Well, I mean, here's my point. Is that, the biggest consumers for video games are not us anymore, guys. It's the shareholders. It's how bleak that sounds, but that is the truth. Yeah. And you have these small studios putting out bangers like this, and like you got Final Fantasy, people would call it, the RPG maker, of a time, kind of falling, flopping, failing, not doing sales expectations, and they have ginormous teams. Yeah, I mean, I think I saw Final Fantasy 16 sold like maybe 2.5 million copies or something like that.
I forgot that game came out.
And I think it's a wake-up call for the industry, and I think you're going to see more of this going forward, and I'm here for it. Like, get rid of the aspect of the video game market, get rid of these big old shareholders.
Like, why do we keep crunching these like numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, to fucking infinity? Like, just give me something like. That's why, like, growing up like in the 90s and shit, like we would get like adjacent like Final Fantasy games. Like, to this day, like War of the Lions is like one of my favorite Final Fantasies like ever. And it's still like in a Final Fantasy world. Like Ivalice like is a world in the Final Fantasy lore, and like honestly, like I go back and I play like 1 through 6 like most of the day because of the pixel remasters, like at least like once a year. Like, man, fucking 7 whatever the fuck, like too much goddamn shit in one game. Like, roll it up, smoke it, throw it out. I don't know what the fuck they were trying to do there. And then it's like everything down the pipeline is a fucking remaster. Like, you were saying earlier, like fucking it's like, oh, they're talking about remastering 9. Like, who gives a fuck? 9 sucks.
Exactly.
Well, they could make it good for the first time ever,
Yeah, but so it just give me a rich story like this. Give me an amazing combat system, and I think it's gonna be hard for me personally going to any RPG with having this game in mind. Now that just like, wow, the small team made this, and you got stuff like Final Fantasy just not hitting the mark for me anymore, man. They're not doing it for me anymore.
It sucked.
Yeah. Anyways, that's all I'll say about that.
Creativity's always been in the indies.
Yeah.
It is. They got more. They got more free will. They can play around a little bit more. You do lower budget shit. Like half of the shit we talk about at like the end of the year is usually like there's always like an indie, like gem in there somewhere. Like, it takes your heart because like it either has some kind of like new engine or like some like new like game mechanic that you've never seen anywhere else that makes the game just that much more fun. And it's like, God, even with like the new Final Fantasy, I'm gonna beat this into the ground. Like, all I feel like is I'm just hitting fucking X over and over again. Like in the new Final Fantasy games, like, yeah, it looks dynamic, it looks flashy, but like, my God, I might as well play Final Fantasy 1 and just fucking hit 4 times speed and keep pressing A to fucking grind out shit because I'm gonna get it eventually, right? It's like, it goes back to what I was saying. It's like I want to feel like when I'm winning, like I accomplished something.
Yeah, that's
instead of just fucking grinding it out.
I'm glad you said that because I find Expedition 33 pretty difficult, and I think that's one aspect of it that is cool. Yeah, like it's got a lot of Soulsborne kind of like attitude, like it's trying to absorb some of those dynamics of like it is a parry game, it is like a dodge game, even though it's a turn-based RPG. It's got those mechanics. It doesn't have an inventory. It's got like an Estus Flask-esque type of single use or like only a handful of uses until you get to a bonfire-esque thing of a flag, an expedition flag. It's got a lot of systems from that. Mike mentioned it's just pulling
weapon
systems
scaling.
all over. Weapon scaling. Yeah, it's pulling, which is just weird. It's like it's pulling from, that's a weird concept to pull from, I think.
Good. Like if it's good and it's useful, fucking, apply it. Like I've been playing Octopath Traveler again, like off and on. And like that game is like, at least for like the first like half of the game, like, well, I mean, the game is kind of open-ended, but like you kind of got to think about what you're doing. You don't know enemy weaknesses. You have to exploit them, but if you don't, you get your shit pushed in. Like it's unforgiving. Like when you first start those games, and even towards the end, it's like if you're not like using debuffs and like buffs, like end game bosses can still push your shit in because they scale it based off of how far you are in the game. So. But I don't know. That's my TED talk. Modern RPGs kind of suck.
Not anymore. Not anymore. I don't know.
Well,
This might be the
apparently
year
not.
of the modern RPG doing all
I,
right.
I gotta wait like a month before I drop anything on that. Like my game budget is out for this month. But I will.
Nice note
I
about
happily
it.
look for.
$50 game instead of it's on Game Pass, but $50 game instead of whatever they are now, 70 or
70.
whatever.
80.
Yeah,
80.
Yeah, 80.
70 to 80.
Yeah, and it's
Give
still
it a month.
it's
Thanks,
still
Nintendo.
like a 60-hour RPG if you kind of do everything if you want. I think me and Kayla are going to probably be done at about 30. Like we're mainlining it, but
Okay.
it's got a lot in it. It's like a
As you
full ass
do.
game for $50, Because we're talking games. The year so far. Let's touch on. Ryan's already said so far he thinks this is not only the best game that he's played, that it's probably going to be his game of the year. I'll ask you, Kayla. I'll start off. Do you share that sentiment? Have we already played the best game we've played this year, or is something out there, or anything that's already released too, and we might not have played? I mean, we've gotten Monster Hunter Wilds. We haven't gotten to Oblivion Remaster yet, but we, it's out. Assassin's Creed Shadows. Aaron platinumed that game recently. He texted me, so it's been a big release calendar so far.
It's a contender, I'd say, but we have also played some really good games too.
You loved Atomfall. Or sorry, Avowed. I had Atomfall in front
I
of me.
did love Avowed, and I did also love South of Midnight.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Too many games right now.
Split Fiction was very good.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm insane.
Those are all probably like similar scores for me. Like I'd really have to sit down and make hard decisions there.
Do you think there's a decent? So it's the 5th month of the year. We got more than half the year left. Is there a better chance that something the remainder of the year comes out and beats something we've already played, or do you think Split Fiction, Expedition 33, Avowed is going to end up being your game of the year?
I'd like to say that there won't be anything else.
Okay.
So my decision will be easier.
I dig it. How about you, Mike? Is it Blueprints, and is that gonna hold?
It is Blueprint so far. Kind of how Ryan feels about Expedition. Like I'm just like, man, how did someone make this? Like, how did someone come up with
One
this
guy?
thing? And it's just awesome. But man, if Silky comes out, Silksong comes out later this year, or something small, like, if we finally get Skate Story or Little Devil Inside comes out or something that just like is dope as fuck. Or be something, I didn't get a Switch 2 pre-order, but Donkey Kong looks amazing. Mario Kart looks amazing. Who knows what they're going to have for the fall, Nintendo. So I would bet on the field right now, because there is a lot of contenders, but I wouldn't be shocked to see Blueprints on top of mine. Maybe when I finish Expedition, maybe that'll be up there. I don't know. But
I hope so. I hope you love it.
I think it might surpass Blueprint. Like, yeah. I like it. I dig it for sure, but we'll see.
How about you, D? Is it Elden Ring the best game of this year?
Elden Ring Night Rain coming soon.
I mean, my time's pretty split because I'm catching up on stuff. Still got to finish, some games that are in the backlog. But I mean, Blueprint's kind of like head and shoulders elbowed its way into my I'm playing it right now. Like I haven't been able to put that game down at all. I have been playing it so much. But I mean, I've started to get the bug of playing Marvel Rivals. I've been watching Ryan play Expedition 33 and getting that like RPG itch of like, well, I could maybe squeeze in Expedition 33. I could maybe squeeze it in. And I got my rotation of games I play all the time, but like this year is surprising me, right? Like we knew these games are coming out, but like the amount of enjoyment that I'm seeing you guys get out of them, the amount of enjoyment I'm getting out of some of these new releases, it far surpassed my expectations. And we're not halfway through the year, and there's still 2 fiscal quarters left, and we just don't know. I mean, like Death Stranding's in the crosshairs, Metal Gear Solid Delta's in the crosshairs, and those are just 2 that come to my mind right away because I've just been seeing Kojima all over my timeline. So it's just
Yeah, that dude's on socials way too much.
yeah, he's way too much, way too much. But I mean, it's because again, Sinners came out and he was just like, you have to see it, and you get a Kojima recommendation, you're like, okay, this guy is usually pretty critical of stuff. So it's like if he's talking about a thing, it's like at least it's worth checking out. So I don't know. I'm just kind of like, it's gonna be a hard year. The Naughty's gonna be hard this year because we don't even know what the back half looks like.
2023, all over again.
Oh, shut up! Fucking 2023. It hurts.
What was that one? I don't remember.
There's just so many games. There's so many games that year. They were just so good, and it feels like just I don't know, another one of those years. Weirdly,
is that Elden Ring year?
Yeah. Elden Ring Night Rain comes out this year, so who knows? I mean, you got everything.
I don't know if that's gonna be on our
No, probably won't. But you know,
list, but,
I don't know.
We'll see.
Looks really fun.
Yeah. The draft, the second half of the draft is going to be Bloodbath, I think. A lot of interesting stuff in the second.
We got some catching up to do, for sure.
Yeah, I do. Oh, gosh. Well, I guess I got to drop GTA
We all do.
6.
Yeah.
Oh,
look at this guy over here.
Yeah, you do.
Look at
You
this
got
guy.
some catching up to do, baby.
You know what?
Let's go. They call me the only 20s. You know, only 20 more.
Yeah.
I think you're done on the 20s there, but that's okay. We know what we need later on. That's all.
Oh, good stuff.
I don't think Dispatch is an ID level.
Probably. We'll see if it even comes out.
I still don't know what that is.
Aaron Paul didn't either.
Right. He just wanted to. So that's the B.O.B.O.G today. The B.O.B.O.G, the B.O.B.O.G, the B.O.B.O.G, the big old bag of games.
B.O.B.O.G.
The B.O.B.O.G.
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 That's a character from Thunderbolts. All right, folks. Episode 192 is wrapping up. We talked Atomfall, South of Midnight, Blueprints, Oblivion Remaster, Expedition 33, Split Fiction, and just, I don't know, a boatload of games. It was a big old bag of games, guys. Thanks for joining us. Hit us up, machineofnonsense@gmail.com. We're barreling towards 200, guys. I'm going to tease it again. 200 is going to be a big one. It's going to be exciting. It might be video game related as well. Another tease. Here we go. All right, guys. Episode 192 is in the books. For Kayla, for Ryan, for Mike, for D, I was your host, Eric. We are getting out of here and we're saying, go play some games. See ya.
May the force be with you.
1, 2, 3. Sex B.O.B.O.G.